Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and all others to No Means No Thing, No Means Nothing, episode 31. For you, it has been a mere 2 weeks. For us, it has felt like a goddamn eternity. I feel like it's been forever since we've recorded. We are recording 1 week before this releases, if I manage to get it edited and out the fucking door. So probably the closest we've ever cut it. Close shave. It's St. Patty's Day for us. So I hope all of you had a good one. I just learned today, I think I already knew this, but that St. Patrick's Day, the snakes actually represented the Druids and the Celts. So fuck that guy, I guess, in a way, for kicking out all the Druids and Celts. Yeah, but we love the Irish. Here's to all of you. We are really, really glad to be back. Or I'll speak for myself, but I'm really fucking glad to be back. And of course, I am one of your hosts, Jordan. I'm joined by one of you.
I'm Matthew. Hello.
He always goes second because they save the best for last, and that's me.
That's for
Michelle.
Sure. Yeah, that's for sure. We're out of practice.
Michelle's the dessert.
I'm rusty as fuck.
Yes,
absolutely. And we're gonna go into our power of positive drinking, but tonight, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, I think we all got one of these.
Oh my God! Look at that.
And so I think we've got to do a 3-way countdown.
Oh
ASMR
my God,
widget
it's
pop.
the Holy Trinity.
We've all got one of these later. So I want you to hold it up to the mic, and I'm going to count to 3. And after 3, or after 1, I'm going to count down. We're going to give you all a little treat. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, foamy.
Yeah, baby.
Foamy.
We have escaped.
Rich and creamy. Pour it right into your pint glass. If I see either of you drinking this out of the can, you're out.
I'm not drinking it out of a can, but I am drinking it out of a mason jar.
Okay.
So
I have this drink. Unfortunately, it's all come off, but it was. It used to say Brasserie au Soleil. It's a 1937 to 1977 commemorative cup. It is all worn off, but it's like some brewery from Quebec.
Nice. Mine says ball wide mouth. So very, you can see it's very eclectic and collectible.
You have a wide mouth for your ball.
But hey, it settled pretty quick.
Now
No, you gotta wait.
Yeah.
The Cascade.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
But that was nice. That's the first time in our podcast history, all 31 episodes, we've all been drinking the same thing. And today of all days, I think that's a pretty good day to do it.
Gotta do it.
So cheers to you all out there. We're going to raise our glasses to you in a minute once we've let this settled. I guess that's the problem. We can't just immediately fucking dive into this shit. But
and St. Patrick was a bit of a dick, but I learned today also that it is also the day of Saint Gertrude of Nivelle. And Saint Gertrude of Nivelle,
tell me about this.
She's the patron saint of cats.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah, man.
That's way better.
Yeah. Although, even if St. Patrick was a dick, the Irish, man, they're all standing up.
The Irish are fucking great.
No, but they're real standing up. I mean, I know I kind of went on about this in the last episode, or at least the Irish are accepting Ukrainian refugees visa-free. I think on some unlimited amount. And they are sending I think it was the world's largest convoy of trucks full of supplies and stuff like that to Ukraine.
Nice.
Ireland's for some reason, Ireland has some sympathy for an imperialistic power carving off a little chunk of their country, militarizing it and saying, this is ours now. I wonder why.
That's
because they've had some practice with that before.
Yeah.
And listen, we've had historically a number of downloads from Ukraine and even recently. So to whoever our listener is there, I can't imagine the horror you're going through. And all of us, the whole fucking world has all of the good part of the fucking world has your back. Tucker Carlson be fucking damned. And
to mention that turd's name.
And a lot of Russians would have your back if it were safe to do so too. So, this is
hell yes.
This is not their war.
Nope, it's not. It's kind of the war of one fucking maniac.
That's what's so disturbing about that. One fucking turd.
Yeah, exactly. But we've got a lot of European listeners, and there are other places in Europe that are pretty much up against the back of
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just
Ukraine. So to all of
can't
you,
imagine
I can't
staring
imagine.
down that again. Yeah, like
No.
we have listeners who I know personally who like grew up during that time and are looking at it. And
So
Pavel was telling me he's having the same kinds of dreams that he had back then. And
fucking A.
yeah, so
No shit.
it's rough and tough. I never thought that there we would have a real fucking, there's some cartoon ones, like fucking Kim Jong-un and whatever else, but I never thought we'd have a real fucking bad guy in my lifetime again somehow.
And here we go. Here he is.
Let's have a toast. We got our
toast
Guinness raised
to our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine, to
Slava
Ireland,
Ukraini.
and
say it, Matthew. Do it. The thing.
Slava Ukraini. Hariam Slava.
Yeah. What he said.
So let's see if we can give you all a little something else to think about in this exceptionally and growing increasingly bat-fuck crazy time. So we're going to dive into some bat-fuck crazy music. We've got 4 songs that I've been chewing on for way too long. And so our first matchup, I don't know. It's we'll talk about it. We got 2 songs here. We got 2 songs. We got Manic Depression off of You Kill Me, 1985, or the You Kill Me Sex Mad compilation, which most of us have probably heard it, unless we're lucky enough to have the original EP, which I'm not. Versus Wake Up off of All Roads Lead to Ausfart, 2006. We got kind of 2 temporarily anyways, right? Opposite sides of the spectrum. Yeah, which we haven't had a lot of those, so that's pretty interesting. And this week we are going to let Matthew dip us in first, then we'll hear from Michelle and then me. So let's all get a little depressed first and hear a little bit of this squawker. Matthew.
Squawker.
Get us depressed. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Squawker,
Stomper?
squeaker,
Speaker?
stomper.
Spooper? Pooper?
Purple hazer?
Purple hazer? Yeah. All right.
So, of course, this is a cover Jimi Hendrix song. And I don't know if you guys know that Jimi Hendrix has quite a strong connection to Vancouver.
No,
I did not know that.
Pray tell.
Yeah, I think it was his grandmother lived here. So he's from Seattle, and so he used to spend a lot of time in Vancouver, in an area which was knocked down to build a freeway, which actually never got built because people were so opposed to it. But they knocked down like the Black District. It was called Hogan's Alley.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they are the viaducts that they put in to put the highway, which actually they put the viaducts in sort of in and out of out of downtown Vancouver, but they just sort of like both converge on what ended up being a very busy, but ultimately a residential street called Pryor. And they're taking down those viaducts and various reasons. I don't know if it's a super great idea for them to do it, but they're doing it, and they're hopefully there is some more interest in Vancouver's Black history and British Columbia's Black history. But I just hope that there's not fucking some big god awful gilded like Hendrix statue as part
Why?
of
Oh, Jesus.
Come
it's
on.
just it's adjacent to Chinatown. Anyway, enough about that. But I wonder, whether yeah, Hendrix has some, it's like
Huh.
BC cred, and it's nice to know that
Yeah.
he influenced No Means No. I don't think that they're making fun of it at all, even though, they're
Hell no.
silly voices and
Oh.
everything like that. And I think it's Rob singing. I think it's
Yeah, this is our great debate. I
yeah.
think it's Rob sometimes. Sometimes I think it's Andy. Not really, or John, but it could be Rob.
Yeah, there's parts that are definitely Rob because it's right when he had his vocal notes, and I'm pathologizing.
That's what I'm
Oh.
wondering, if he was like
So
taking
he's
the
like,
back seats. Like, I can't handle this.
He's shredding the fuck out of a voice, and he's making sounds which only a damaged voice can make.
That
So I think
scream in there,
definitely
that
parts of
fucking
I don't
yeah.
know. Andy's done some of those screeches like that, but yeah, I don't know.
No, that's pathological. That one. There's damage there. Anyway, I love the feedback guitar. I love the line, which I don't think I ever realized. Like, manic depression's a frustrating mess. It's so
Yeah.
understated, and I never really like delved into the lyrics of it. And I think maybe Hendrix was. I don't know much about him. I was not a particular fan or anything like that. But like based on these lyrics, if he wrote them, that you can't touch the music all the time. And that music, sweet music. I wish I could caress. So maybe like he had trouble. Maybe he was manic depressive, and that he can't always reach it. So the creativity, or like if you can't reach the creativity, then you get drunk and you get high, and ultimately that's what it did the poor guy in. So
Right.
yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. There's you can hear someone kind of go at some point during the song, like in the back. I don't think I would have been able to hear it without these headphones, but it sounds like John. So that's what made me think that I don't think there are a lot of tracking. I think they might have played this all together, and it seems pretty
like that, yeah.
pretty organic. One take, or like not one take, but at least they're all playing at the same time. I think.
It feels like a song that they played a lot live, and so they had kind of really down and could do it in the studio real well.
Yep.
Yeah. And I love the sort of like absolutely roaring ending, and then just how it goes into Paradise. I never really thought about how, manic depression and then Paradise is sort of, I thought it was like talking about sort of being tired of where you are, and a song about Victoria. So I don't know, maybe there is some sort of organic connection between the life lived in Victoria and Vancouver that No Means No, and then Hendrix coming up to Vancouver to visit his grandmother adjacent to Chinatown in a really rundown part of Vancouver. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. It was nice to sort of have that thought, and to recognize the song is one thing, but to actually think about the commonality of what generated it was kind of an interesting experience to do. But great song. And actually, I think I went and bought Hendrix stuff after hearing this, because I was never all that interested in Hendrix before that. But yeah, I think it's a tribute. It's not like any kind of
for sure.
Yeah.
This is like respect,
Yep.
humility. This is totally that.
Nice.
Yep.
Anyway, don't have much else to say, but fun song, and it'll be interesting to see whether Hogan's Alley comes back when they knock those viaducts down. Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Hogan's Alley is what he was talking about. That place that got knocked down.
The black area site.
I'm sorry. I must have missed that part. I'm sorry. Hogan's Alley.
No worries.
Okay.
That's right. You've hit your head recently. We can forgive you.
Oh yeah. We'll bring that. We'll bring that up right about now because.
Michelle, your turn.
Okay.
Or shall we call you Alice?
Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm feeling vulnerable right now. So.
Okay.
Should I tell everybody what I look like?
Yeah.
Right now.
Well, it's up to you.
Well. Long story short, I got food poisoning, and on the way to the bathroom, I fainted. Oh, I have a big hit on my head that caused 2 very large Alice Cooper black eyes, and I have 5, maybe 6 broken bones in my foot. So I've been home all week feeling sorry for myself.
It is not an exaggeration, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
She
I look like
authentically
hell.
has Alice Cooper eyes.
I look
I
like
gotta say, those
hell.
they are the most symmetrical black eyes I've ever seen.
know.
They are like
It's fucking badass. Like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
this is some serious
it
badass
seriously
shit.
looks like corpse paint. It looks like fucking death metal.
I am the dead.
100%.
I am the walking
100%.
dead. I scared a girl
No.
in the doctor's office. You guys, she's like, "Mommy, what happened to her?" And I was waving and smiling and thought, "No, I'm probably making it worse."
That's right. You should walk down the thing, just kind of shambling.
What happens
making
when you don't
low
clean your
noises.
room?
I know you're feeling self-conscious, Michelle, but
I am.
it looks fucking awesome, and
Are
you
you
should
serious?
you should
It
post
looks-
you
yes,
should
it
let
looks
people see
serious
that.
badass.
Like
Oh,
it
no,
is the
I went
most
out-
like yeah.
I went out to eat with a friend yesterday after my CT scan, and we're eating, and she's like, I think she was like super like getting uncomfortable because people were looking at us. So I took my face mask and I put it over my eyes. I'm like, there, is that better? Now I just
Fuck them.
I feel so awful, and I'm at that age where I'm just like, I don't fucking care. I got a
Yeah, who
pair of
fucking
crutches,
cares?
I got a boot, and go fuck
Fuck y'all.
yourselves. Yeah.
Oh, I think
Exactly.
But
you
I
gotta
did-
post a photo of yourself like with making a death metal face or something. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
man.
It's so amazing. Yeah.
The face group. The face.
You gotta have the eyes open though,
it.
so it stretches down the cheeks
right.
like that. It's
All
amazing.
right, Matthew.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Matthew, okay. Right here and now. I told you before I didn't want you to do it, but if you love this, I'll give you a picture of me, or I'll make one, and you can use it for this show's
episode.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. You heard it
Okay.
here, folks. You heard it here.
I'm gonna let the world see how shitty I look right now.
You look badass. You look
Yeah.
badass.
Like, this
you
is-
feel
this is
you
bad.
feel shitty. It feels shitty. I get that, but it looks badass.
It's
I just want to say that.
so bad. It's bad.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
No. My daughter would be jealous. She tries to do that kind of shit all
Are
the
you
time.
serious?
She loves
Yeah.
painting her face up. So she.
Well,
Boy,
I'll send you a
goths
picture.
and death metal guys do that shit on purpose. So,
exactly.
like,
Yep, exactly. But
Exactly.
not as good. Not
No.
as good.
Yeah, no.
All right.
This is juicy.
Susie Sue ain't got nothing on you.
Exactly. Now, speaking of goths, this is a nice segue into what I'm about to admit. I've gone back and forth on this. I've been not looking forward to this song because I knew I would have to grapple with whether I should say this or not, and I'm going to say it.
Just say it.
If I'm going to let everybody see my face right now, I'm going to let everybody know. I'm feeling vulnerable and have decided to admit, with what I think are very good reasons, one of the most embarrassing things I could ever say. I think you've guessed it now. I did not know this was a Hendrix song until it was too late. In
Hell
my
yeah.
defense, I was listening to The Cure, Bauhaus, and the Talking Heads so much around the time, but I did know that Foxy Lady, covered by The Cure, was a cover of a Hendrix song. But back to No Means No, this gem is a thunderous throwdown of a legendary song by one of the world's most legendary artists. It's such a great punk splashdown, and I don't know what sounds better. John's vocals, for years I thought it was Rob, but then I was listening to it today and thinking maybe it was John. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's both.
That-
I think it's both.
Whoever does that scream, I'll talk about that in a minute. Frustrating. I don't know, or John's vocals are, I don't know what sounds better, John's or Rob's or Andy's / vocals. I don't know what's better, the vocals or the sick drum fills that John is laying down
God,
in this. It's
so
just,
good.
oh my God, it's a buffet.
It's so
Yep,
fucking tight. Oh.
Yep.
Nom, nom, nom.
Andy's guitar wails fit perfectly in this and are an homage to the king. The screams are profoundly incredible. A truly epic and extremely respectable cover that showcases both No Means No and, of course, Jimi Hendrix.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, so this is one of a handful of recorded covers anyway, right? And I'm on record as shitting all over one of the other ones we've done. Not, I guess the other one would be We Are Not One. Would We Be Alive, right?
I didn't know that was.
Yeah, remember it's The Residents.
I didn't know that was the Residents
But
cover.
I think that, well, then there's Rob doing a couple of his solo guitar bits like Sitting on Top of the World. Those are covers. But I love this one way more than Beat on the Brat, right? I'm not gonna shit on this. I think this is a banger. Listen, it's not my favorite on this album. I love No Means No so much that I want their material. So covers always feel like second tier to me somehow. But this is a banger. This is just and a great cover of Hendrix. I knew Hendrix before I knew No Means No, and there was a period in high school when I had a friend who was learning guitar who was really into Hendrix. So I got into him enough, right? That I was stoked to come across this and be like, what a fucking great cover. And I listened to it today. I hadn't listened to it in a long time. I listened to the Hendrix version. This is a really great homage to it. And it's interesting. Yeah. They really cut up the lyrics in a way, like they just cut away a bunch of the lyrics. It's funny though, when
compare
you look
them.
at
Yeah.
They took the swing out.
Well, the funny thing is when you look at lyric sites for this song, for the No Means No version, they don't do that. They just copy the Hendrix lyrics. Like no one actually has done the No Means No lyrics for this. They just are like, well, it must be the same. And it's not. They cut out the whole first stanza. They mix shit up. They jump around between verses. They cut out shit from verses. So it's different. Now, I don't think it's different in a sense thematically. I like that. When I was kind of looking to it going like, has what they cut, are they saying something by what they cut? And I don't think so.
No, they're just rocking.
No, well, listen, hey, it wouldn't be beyond them. Like, that's not a crazy thing to think, right? Like, they're smart enough, but I don't think so. But I mean, I don't have a lot more to say about it either, other than everything you guys have said, but those drum fills are fucking crazy. The howls at the end are fucking crazy. Yep. And I do just love the boom, it's so driving and just, it's so fucking, it's just a banger. It's a banger. And a really great song to put on before Paradise. They are a great 1-2 kick punch, right? It's just great. I love the arrangement of it. I think thematically of all of Hendrix's songs, this is the perfect one to have picked. It fits right in the wheelhouse. It doesn't surprise me that you didn't know it was a cover because it feels like a song that's complete. Well, but thematically and for every other reason, it's a song that could have come right from there. No way. Are you kidding me? Well, you are booted.
I've
on
lost
your foot
my street cred.
You're literally booted. That's the point.
Yes,
you had street cred.
No, I love this song. It's great. It's I think it's one of their best covers. I'm sure it shredded. Well, I know it shredded live. I've seen video of them playing it back in the day. Fucking great stuff. So A+. All right. So let's move on to our follow-up, which is Wake Up, off of All Roads Lead to Allsfart. So set your alarm clocks. Listen to a bit of this.
Come on, Professor, rise and shine.
Matthew, what do you got for us?
It was a long time between one and All Roads Lead to Allsfart, and this is a very good track one, I must say. Just like straight the fuck on in. Wake up! Oh, yeah, no, I really like this song. I didn't ever look up. I only did it just sort of before preparing for this episode. What it sounded to me like Bugs Bunny cartoon and stuff like that, but it's The Great Race.
Yeah, no, I just found that out today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, say it again. I interrupted you.
I want to like watch that movie now. It seems very silly. It has Jack Lemmon in it and like Peter Falk and Natalie Wood, who
I stepped on you when you said that name. So say it again for everyone in case they didn't hear.
The Great Race.
Oh, that's what
Yes.
that beginning part is?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Rise and shine, Professor.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, not a Leni it sounds like the title to a Leni Riefenstahl, the Nazi propagandist. Anyway, the Great Race could be a terrible title as well. But
Oh right. Oh God, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah.
I thought it was
Not
Mickey
that. It's
from
not that.
Rocky.
Yeah.
I thought it was Mickey on Rocky.
yeah,
It
I
kind of
read
sounds
the.
like Burgess Meredith. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. It's Jack Lemmon as in the Odd Couple, but still that's pretty awesome. And I gotta watch this movie because it's sort of like kind of a cartoony, wacky, racist kind of thing, and the bad guy's named Professor Fate, who sounds like
Wacky racist?
wacky
Oh.
racist.
Like
The Hanna-Barbera
Not wacky
thing.
racist.
Come on
Those
now,
wacky racist.
wacky racists.
All right, go on.
I hate Illinois Nazis. Yeah. So the Professor Fate sounds like a very Slade-like character to me, like some very cartoon bad guy dressed in black and stuff like that. So I think I gotta look that up. And like you say, I have a crush on Natalie Wood. It's such a weird thing that when all happened with her. So
Right.
yeah. Wakey eggs and bakey. Such a great and
Hilarious.
silly beginning. Yep. I like the fact that he says, smell the roses, use your noses. It makes it sillier if it was like use your nose, because he's plural. It means like he's addressing a specific group, not the general sort of plural you. It's it's like he's maybe actually there with them. Use your noses. Get out there.
We've all got them.
Such a intense beginning. I don't know why I never thought to. Maybe it's because I could carve it up and make it like my wake up alarm.
Oh, I wrote that down.
It'd be so great. It'd be easy enough to do that. I think it's a song about kind of it's just aggressive, like wake up, get out there, do, and like it's about aggression. I've never really noticed before, never really thought of before, that I'm dreaming and I can't wake up, and then wake up. That phrase appears in the titles of 2 songs on the same album, which is kind of interesting because we did talk about I'm dreaming and I can't wake up, like somebody who is stuck in distraction and not actually experiencing the real world. But if you do wake up, you're in this incredibly aggressive, consumptive kind of environment.
Yep.
More, and there's a lot of especially Latter Day No Means No stuff that's about consumption. Actually, I guess not even Latter Day, but I mean junk is kind of like that as well. Just consumption is like more and more and more. And yet, Smell the Roses is it's sort of an exhortation to take your time.
Take your time and smell. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Good point.
So it's kind of like flips it on its head a little bit. This is appreciate life, but this is a song about aggressive and just like wanting more and more and more. One of the lyrics is I want more noise, want more money, more of you, honey. So,
yeah.
More of you, honey.
Hey,
So
baby.
slimy and beautiful.
So, but then there's a woman's voice. More
3-ways.
See, I always thought it was
It's 3.
I always thought it
Nope,
was
it's
free.
3.
I know. I looked it
Nope,
up. I
for
looked it up.
sure.
But I thought there was like
more 3-ways.
an awesome
No
connection
way.
between freeways and the whole thing about
Nope.
Hogan's Alley, about how
Nope.
I could connect these two
Nope.
songs, and you know how much I like to do that. So, oh well.
Right.
More 3-ways.
It could have been
It's
more
all about
freeways.
sex, baby.
Yeah, more 3-ways.
The freeway. What the fuck was that on The Office? Free Love Freeway. I forget it.
I don't remember.
I don't remember
It's
that.
on the British Office. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's the good one.
You're goddamn right. It is.
It's a really intense song, but if you listen carefully, it's actually very like tightly woven. Like the all 3 instruments are playing like really coordinated. How the Tom's guitar playing is like very very busily up and down, and the bass is very very snarly, and of course the drums are always complicated, but not really calling attention to themselves. It's like really very harmonious song. Like none of the instruments really sort of take center stage. They're all really cooperative, and yeah, I really like this song. It's one of my favorites off of Ausfahrt for sure. And
Cool.
Wow.
it's an interesting kind of comparison, because I really think that Manic Depression really sounds like it was, they're all playing together, maybe one take, or at least, they're all playing the song. It's not reconstructed. But Wake Up sounds very reconstructed and very polished to me. So yeah, kind of an interesting transposition there.
Yeah.
That's about all I got to say about Wake Up. I like it. And now I want bacon or bakey.
Nice.
Right.
All right, Strangey, what bakey you got for us?
Okay. After the softer intro is when I start to cut the rug. Except I won't do that today. I always adored the ha-ha after Rob's first wakey-wakey. Now he goes, ha-ha. You know it. Listen to it. He just does that ha-ha. I love it. This would indeed be the quintessential alarm clock for me, as I infamously have problems waking up. The eggs and bacon line is quite funny to me. I think this song is really well constructed. I think I'm going to say a lot of the stuff you said right now, Matthew. I think the song is really well constructed, with juicy, aggressive bits intertwined with intelligent segments that lead well into the main vibe of the piece. I'm really wishing Tom had more singing bits on this, as his voice is so opposite of Rob's boisterous baritone.
Yeah, good point.
Because when you do hear Tom pipe in, it really sounds really good, and I was wishing he had more lines in this song. I think it's a nice contrast with Rob. In my opinion, this song seems to be a fine example of consumerism, greed, and having to keep up with the Joneses. And we all know about those Joneses, don't we?
Oh, gotta love them.
Yep.
Hi, Joe.
All right.
Yeah, he's so worried. He's in Portugal, right? Or whatever. Yeah.
So, fuck. I'm about to lose some people, I think. I got to admit, guys, this song has never worked for me. Never. I played it. I listened to it about 40 times. I mean, I'm not being hyperbolic.
Well, that will do
Today, it finally clicked for me a little bit. But I want to say this. I don't know why, because all of the parts of it are fucking great. Like, it's got the humor. It's got really great grooves. John's way that he's like, I don't know what you'd call that, Stranger, but it's like he's playing off the beat. He's playing on the like three, and I guess it's syncopation, but he's playing like in that opening. I love the opening and the ending part of it. Like all the different pieces, Rob's snarl, all the pieces of it, if I pull them separately, are fucking great. And all the shit I love about the band, but this song has never come together for me.
Oh, so you like the ingredients, but not the finished product.
But it doesn't make a gumbo, and I don't know why. And it's my least favorite No Means No opener, period. Like, I just don't, it doesn't, I'm like, I don't know. I'll skip it. It doesn't work. And that's me. Like, clearly it's not the song, because I can recognize that it's great musicianship. It's fucking, really good. It's got all the ingredients, but it's probably near the bottom of the list for me of No Means No songs. And definitely probably other than maybe one other on this, at the bottom of this album for me. It's not there. This song thematically to me feels like the alarm clock or the anthem that the protagonist of Mondo Nihilsmo 2000 sings when he wakes up in the morning. Like, this is his,
make
like,
a point.
Fuck yeah, like I'm like those songs those two songs feel linked.
Got some things to do in Guam.
I got some things to do in Guam, baby. Yeah. Today's the day. Oh, I said baby. Fuck, that's gross. Any event, so yeah, I don't know. I've really tried, like, I've actively tried hard to grow my appreciation, especially for the podcast. Like, okay, there's been other ones that I haven't paid that much attention to and really dug into for the podcast and gone like, oh shit, what was I missing? And I kind of got there today, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know, chemistry thing. What the fuck are you going to say? Like, it just doesn't do it. I'm super glad to hear that you both like it, but I don't have a lot more to say about it, because it's just, it doesn't fire off any of my synapses, unfortunately.
Wet lettuce.
It's kind of wet lettuce for me. Exactly. We've all been there with other songs and another, like I've been singing the praises. You guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about? That isn't Santa Sleigh. I'll
Santa
never forget
Claus
that.
sleigh. Well,
So that's me on this
still
one.
stand
So
by that one.
I'm realizing we should say to the non-native English speakers that, wakey wakey eggs and bakey is like a thing that, parents say to their kids and stuff like that. And the alternate version, wakey wakey, hands off snakey.
Oh!
Oh my God. I've never heard the alternate version. So.
Oh, but you've done it.
No, never. Not once.
Never.
All right. Then let's put this up for a vote and move on to our middle section here.
This will be interesting after that.
So let's let Michelle go first. Michelle, what's your vote?
Manic Depression. I am voting for Manic Depression.
Well, all right.
It's a lay down. It is a lay down.
Matthew, how about you?
Jordan, what you were saying about how with you get No Means No covers and you just kind of want original No Means No material, as much as this is a wonderful cover, I really like Wake Up. I'm going to vote for Wake Up because Manic Depression is not their song.
All right, there you go.
Ooh, I don't know where this is going right now.
I'm going to go against my own grain. I normally don't vote for covers, but I actually like that cover way more than Wake Up. So I'm going to vote for Manic Depression. I could listen to that a million more times than Wake Up, which frankly I probably won't listen to again for a really, 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 really long time.
Except for when you put it on your phone and use it as your alarm.
Yeah, I would do that because it is gimmicky and good. But other than that, thanks, Wake Up. I'll see you in 10 years. All right.
God.
All right.
Let's move on to. Listen. I figure it adds a little spice. If I liked every No Means No song with the passion that I like most of them, it'd be fucking boring. I gotta not like a couple of them, right? So this was one.
I still have dreams of Matthew panning the camera over to show like Rob sitting in the corner and watch. He's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I would throw up on my fucking keyboard. Is what I would do. And shut down the podcast immediately.
Don't do any of those things.
So let's move on to a listener submission. Just a reminder, Matthew, before we dive into our listener submission, I know everyone's sick of hearing it, but fuck you, you're going to hear it anyway. What do we ask people to do here? Oh, I got to pull up the phone number. I don't even remember it.
Yeah, because it's long and complicated. It doesn't have any repeated numbers. Anyway, we have a phone number.
You go talking and I'll dig it up.
Which you can call and you can submit. You have 3 minutes, actually. So break up your submissions. If you don't want to do that, then email us. We like to hear your No Means No origin story, your what No Means No means to you, and perhaps interesting or heartfelt No Means No story related. So could have been listening to it with some friends, or the first time you heard them, or one time when you saw them and had a particularly good time or bad time. It doesn't matter. We just want to hear your stories. Please send them on into no means nothing podcast at gmail.com. And you can type it out and we'll read it, or you can record it and attach it, or use Dropbox or something similar. Ask us if you need any technical support for that sort of thing. If you would like one or all of us to read it in unison, then please just make that request. Or maybe don't make that request.
That would be awful.
Look out. Look out. Give us a phone call at 415-493-8630. That number again is 415-493-8630.
Yes.
Nice. You got 3-minute increments.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. No, you. No, you first. No, go ahead.
Me first. No, I was going to say, just as my exhortation back to the sort of serious stuff of last week when I recorded that thing, if you don't want to say any of that stuff, just call in and tell one maybe Ukrainian listener that you're thinking about them, and that you say Slava Ukraini, glory to Ukraine, and that you're out there, and that that's about all I can think of to do
Hell yeah.
for you guys.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, do that.
Yeah.
So let's listen to one of our brave listeners. This is Jens Åker. Did I say that? I butchered that, I'm sure. Matthew,
Pretty
you want
close.
to give that a try?
Jens Olka, yeah,
All right.
something like that. It
Jens
means,
Olka.
I think, I like that because it's actually, I think it means like just ochre, because Olk is like oak, and I'm from Oak Bay, so there you go.
Nice.
Ochre?
Well, Jens was kind enough to email us, and he was a little bit self-conscious about this. I don't know why, because it sounds fucking great. So I don't know that either of you have heard this one yet.
Jens the Shy Swede.
Hey, I never
All right.
listened to this stuff.
Or is he a Dane?
Good.
Oh, he's a Swede, right?
I always wanted
think he's a
to
Swede.
be a surprise. It's like
There you
surprise
go.
to me, like it is everybody else hearing it.
So we incredibly appreciate Jens sending us this. So let's go ahead and take a listen. Here we go.
So, these are a few of the recollections I have of meeting the band when playing or otherwise working with them. 1990, Café Q, Gävle, Sweden. My first band, Ashram, opened the show. I was at the tender age of 14 and had listened a lot to Small Parts and Wrong, which turned me into a huge No Means No fan. Granted, a lot of the lyrics went right over my head. Big Dick was easy enough though, but the music blew my mind. John let me use his drum kit, cymbals, snare and all. At soundcheck they zeroed in on some weird frequency in the room, and after Craig had tried to rectify it, they threw their hands up and said, "It's in the house, it's in the house,
wow.
There's nothing to be done." During the show, Rob had a real sore throat, and as I recall, did attempt to sing a little, but mostly Andy did the singing on the songs Rob would normally sing. They told the tale of Bruno to introduce that song, moral of the story being, never, never ever sell cocaine to the police. This is sound advice. The band also called out their roadie as a lying Dutchman from the stage. After the gig, I did an interview, again mostly with Andy speaking, for my fanzine in their dressing room. It was getting kind of late in the evening and they were a little concerned that it might be past my bedtime, and did my parents know where I was? Phone your mom were their last words to me. Funny. I have to say, I was just a dumb little kid, but they were super respectful of me. 1994, Café Q, Gävle, Sweden. I put on this show. The rider requested an inordinate amount of beer.
Oh my
4
God.
cases, I think it was. That's 96 beers. I told Rob they get 2 cases, and he accepted that, but asked if maybe I could buy them some hash instead of the other 2. I agreed. I called my guy. I was a smoker myself, no problem. The money spent on 5 grams of Moroccan was more or less the same as the extra 2 cases would have set us back, but what the fuck. The band talked about having a really weird show the night before in Sundsvall, where they had played in the town square at some kind of city festival to a crowd of unsuspecting, clearly non-punk
that's
citizens.
true.
In traditional dress, no less.
They seemed relieved to be in a punk club doing their usual thing. Café Q was a rehearsal space on the non-gig nights for some local bands, one of which owned a fan. The men of No Means No saw it and traded it for a bunch of their merch and used it during the set. It was June and that place got real hot. We had a dartboard in the club, and Rob really seemed to enjoy throwing darts by himself throughout the night. There was some kind of hockey event going on at the time, maybe the World Cup or something, so we set up this old beat-up black and white TV for them to see the game. I remember Craig sitting there with a big pile of tobacco hash mix rolling and puffing away. They slept at the club. We provided mattresses with clean sheets, and they had their own sleeping bags. There were no rock star tantrums thrown about these sleeping arrangements. It was great. I was much impressed. Also, what a fucking treat to witness the 2-drummer lineup. Jesus Christ. When they played The River, well, shit, I have no verbiage for that. 2000, Hamnmagasinet, Umeå, Sweden.
Umeå.
My second band, Trapdoor Fucking Exit, opened the show. Very dim time for me. About the only thing I remember, apart from their show being totally awesome as usual, totally awesome, is that they were drying or airing out their stage clothes by putting them in front of fans in one of the dressing rooms. The stench was beyond belief. I could not
Was
stay
it a
in
Hanson
there.
Brothers show?
It is at this point unclear if any of those fans was one they traded for in '94, but if it was, talk about things coming back to haunt you. It's catching up indeed. I really feel that their music opened my head up at a young age and taught me a thing or 12 about what punk can be, and sort of laying the groundwork for me being more accepting of eclectic sounds from then on. They continue to be one of my favorite bands for well over 30 years to this day. Every time they released a new album, I was all about it. I fucking love those guys.
There we go.
Oh man,
Thank you,
Damn.
Jens.
come on,
Jens, it's
you can't buy that. You can't buy that.
no, man, dude. I mean, you told Jens was a little nervous about recording that and everything. It's incredible. You're funny.
Yeah, that was
it's
incredible.
well written. It's your English is better than most English speakers' English.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I love when Europeans, especially Northern Europeans, like they apologize for their English, which is so good.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
I would
Way better than we are.
I would love to speak Swedish at all, much less totally fluently. I mean,
I know.
come
Yeah,
on,
right?
man. Yeah. So this is
Those
absolute proof
stories,
that
though, Jesus Christ.
it totally goes against like what some member of Nomi's at some point said that Sweden, they just never really caught on in Sweden. They had huge fans in Norway, huge fans in Finland, and that Sweden was kind of flyover country. That's bullshit, clearly.
No, Jurgen's
yeah,
there.
clearly.
Jurgen's a fan.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I like the
maybe
fact
they
that
just
he
had
was
bad memories of that one festival that was
That's
full
probably
of.
what it was.
went to the show in Umeå. Well, that's where Meshuggah is from, and I'm a big Meshuggah fan. I've been listening to a lot of Meshuggah
nice.
lately. I love to think that a member of Meshuggah
Is that a
might have gone to
Yiddish
see
band?
Nomi's
What
now,
the
so-
hell is that?
That's so
Meshuggah?
good. You don't know what Meshuggah is?
No.
They're great.
Oh,
It's a
they're
Yiddish
fucking
band,
great.
isn't it?
fantastic! No,
Meshuggah?
no,
No.
Yeah, that's it. Certainly, it is a Yiddish word. It means crazy, but yeah, they're a Swedish
Well,
band.
Meshuggah does, doesn't it? Not Meshuggah.
Yeah.
Isn't it different? Or are they
Well,
the
it's
same?
close.
There might be
enough
a
for
little
me.
bit different.
That's pretty
Yeah,
close.
but anyway,
Yeah.
Michelle, we gotta make you into a Meshuggah fan because
Yeah, yeah.
they're
Okay.
they're
they're great.
fantastic. Yeah.
All right.
Nice. Well, listen, Jens, that fucking kicked ass.
Yeah,
I
thank
love
you.
these. I love these. Listen, we're selfish. We just want you guys to send them in because we love these. These are so fucking fun. And I bet that if any of the band is listening, they love to hear this shit too. So
I mean,
chances
come on.
are,
That is such a
chances
treat
are-
to listen to.
at least a few of them might actually hear these stories. So that's a real treat for them too. And until we get this amazing book, which we're all fucking on the edge of our seats to get, this is what we have. We have these stories from you. So let's share them. All right. I think we've told most of ours. I got maybe a couple more, but that's it. So we need your stories.
Doesn't it also reiterate the fact that we like a cool band of
Exactly.
very cool guys?
Because it's cool, smart, kind, good
Yes, kind
people that fucking like this band. It's
Unassuming-
insane.
Exactly.
As
Best
all of
fan
you
base
assholes
in the world.
listening are. Yeah, and the fans are fucking awesome. Everybody's really
Yeah.
fantastic, supportive of each other, of us.
Mhm,
Thank you for your
mhm.
support. Thank you for your
Yeah.
accolades. We're
100%.
just doing this out
Yeah.
of love. And it is such a treat to do this show with you two assholes. And thank you so much, everybody, for listening.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Call the
So let's
phone
give you-
number. God
Let's
damn
give
it.
you more. Let's give you more of what you came for, which is another set of songs. So a couple of great ones coming up here. We're gonna pit "Remember" off of One Down and Two to Go, 1994, versus "Mama's Little Boy" off round two off of "Mama," 1982. Michelle's into her second beer. We're ready to go.
With
That was my
Crutch.
fourth. That was my fourth Guinness. I'm gonna get something different because I don't think I'm.
Are
I
you
think I'm-
serious?
Well, there's 4 in a package, so I'm done.
Not
Yeah,
I
there's
just
four
gotta
in
buy
a
go.
the
package.
8-pack.
All right.
I gotta
Matthew's
grab
going
another
to
one.
grab another beer.
God,
I'm
this
gonna
is like-
get started.
This
We're
is
drunk.
like a podcast where we just slowly get buzzed and talk about No Means No. Oh my God.
That's the joy. That's why the second set is always a little wilder. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first here with Remember. So let me see if I can remember how to push play on this clip.
I recall at the end of it all, you were on your knees while I was standing tall. Or is my memory deceiving me? Was I hanging there while you prayed for me? Remember how when the show was done, we were laughing and drinking and having fun. Then I heard you speak, your voice was weak. When we forget, we must repeat. R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R, 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 R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R. I remember the chicks betrayed who fell behind and who made the grade. And I don't need the pages of some master plan to tell me what to do or tell me who I am. Cause when all is said and all is done under the yellow glow of our setting sun, it really doesn't matter what you have done, you are blind and deaf and dumb. R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R, 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 R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R.
All right. What beer is that? Wait, hold it up again. Matthew,
This
we're doing
is,
a little power positive drinking in the middle of the episode here. What do we got?
Possibly my favorite beer. It's a Bomber Park Life Passion Fruit Ale. It's no longer owned by Blair Calababa, but Blair Calababa
Oh,
started this
Blair.
brewery.
Oh,
who
hell
was,
yeah.
yeah. Who recorded
Hell
House
yeah.
Fart and
Oh.
a bunch of other shit. And was there
I had
Nice.
a huge crush on him.
Yes, yes.
featured
you
on
disappearing.
our
I remember you
last episode's eating relish.
the graphic. He was eating relish, and I remember you
Yeah.
disappearing up. You disappeared up to the soundboard at the Ausfart.
Well,
at
nothing
the Ausfart
naughty
show
was
'cause-
happening, but
yeah.
when you can
No, I
go
know,
sit
but
with a sound guy,
I was there with Mari, and we're like, "Where the fuck Michelle go?" And we looked up. Oh, yep, there she is. We know
sitting
where she
with
went.
Blair.
Sitting with Blair, and why wouldn't she? All right,
And then
so
he let me touch
speak-
the knob. Remember, he let me touch
Oh
the knob.
god damn it. So let's speaking of remembering, I'm going to dive into this song a bit. So so this is one of the songs that was recorded, I think, newly for this compilation, I guess is what you call it, right? One Down, Two to Go.
Mm.
There were a handful of songs that weren't from older periods, they weren't from outtakes, they seemed to be recorded, I don't know specifically for this, but they were at least kicking around, and maybe they didn't feel like they had an album's worth enough, so they made a compilation out of it. But this is one of those. So it's of that period, of that time. This song's a fucking banger. One of my favorite things about this song right now is that this appears to be my kind of entry point with my daughter, who's 12, for No Means No. I've been trying to squeak her in. Like, my son's already deep in the paint. He's 17. They're his favorite band in the world.
Too late for
We'll
him.
have him on in. Yeah, it's too late for him. We'll have him on at some point to talk about it. But this song, she loved it. She loved this. I think it's
Oh,
the catchy.
shit.
I think it's the catchy chorus, right? Which I'm just going to jump right to that for a second. Like the R-E-M-E-M-B-E. That's fucking great. That's just so good. Taking that word, spelling it out, and turning it into that.
IMO.
It's so fucking good. I mean, this is their
Nice.
Sesame Street, Electric Company sort of No Means No song, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, totally.
You could have,
Hey,
you could have
guys!
exactly. You could have some Muppets singing this shit. I'd love to see a video with fucking punked out Muppets doing this. It's
Paul
so
the
fucking good.
Gorilla and Spider-Man.
Paul the Gorilla, yeah, exactly. Death metal, Big Bird, I don't know, just some great shit. Elmo with his guts
Guy
ripped out. I don't know.
Smiley. Don't forget my Guy Smiley.
Guy
goddammit.
Smiley.
That's my favorite.
This song is great. It's parts of it are sort of straight pop punk, but it's got a great fucking beat. I think lyrically I like this song a lot because it's about. I'll dive into the lyrics a little bit more. I haven't done that yet because neither of the other two songs, I don't know, just didn't inspire me on that way. But these two certainly will. So I mean, I'm very interested in the idea of memory. I think this song, I think Rob is too, and how it plays into our identity. I think this song has a kind of three hints at three great aspects or theses about memory. We get this opening, which is really evocative. I recall at the end of it all that you were on your knees and I was standing tall. But is my memory deceiving me? Was I hanging there while you prayed for me? which there's a bunch of ways to look at that. Very evocative. First of all, it's that, just on the sense of memory, like we never remember the fucking things right. Here's two diametrically opposite ways of remembering a situation, right? In a very, very sort of social way. The fact that we don't no two people are ever going to remember things the same way. But this also strikes me as, in one sense, two different views of an execution. One where the guy's an executioner standing tall over the guy on his knees about to cut off his head, and the other one where he's now the guy being hanged while the other guy's sitting there praying for me. Although that line, was I hanging there while you prayed for me, is also sort of evocative of, was he Jesus on the cross?
Jesus
and there
Christ,
was someone there, someone there sitting there praying for him. But it's just that interesting way of, to me, this is how we create our story and our history with other people through our memories of our social interactions, but we each have our own version of that story, and no two versions of it are going to be the same. Like you guys talk all the time about, not all the time, but the time you guys all went to play shows, but I've heard from the outside slightly different versions of that, right? You each have your own version of the story. So what's real? Well,
what are you
both
talking
of them,
about?
Neither of them. You guys, how you went to see all the shows with Blair and all that on the things. But both of your stories are just a little bit different. You have different versions of them slightly. We all do, right? And so in this opening part, there's this sort of sense of how our memory creates our sense of identity in the social scene, but it's different for each one of us. It's not the same. It could be diametrically opposite. And then we have that line at the end. Then I heard you speak, your voice is bleak. What we forget, we must repeat, which seems to be sort of based off that kind of famous phrase that those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it. Which we all have heard that before. I looked that up. It's by George Santayana, a mid-century Spanish philosopher. I don't know him, but everyone's heard that phrase before. Which again, it's a very, very weighted phrase. And then you get to this second verse, which seems to be more about how we create our own personal identity from memory, even though we don't necessarily want to believe it, right? Like, I remember the tricks of the trade, who got left behind and who made the grade, that sort of sense of, well, yeah, I remember everything I need to know to get along in this fucking life, but I don't need that shit. I'm my own person, or you think you are. But in the end, like, saying, I don't need that master plan to tell me what to do or tell me who I am. I have my own identity. I don't need that shit that I remember. I remember it, but that's not who I am. But it calls bullshit on that. Like, in a sense, that's all we have is the shit that we remember, is the shit that this story we build for ourselves, a sort of Rashomon-esque perspective that we take as our own self. And he says that explicitly at the end of this verse. It really doesn't matter what you have done. You're blind and deaf and dumb. None of that's real. You've made it up. You've told the story. I mean, there's that thing that we all need to realize, and you need to feel yourself at some point, every fucking one of you. Whoa. Every time you remember something, you're actually just remembering the last time you remembered it. And so every time you remember something, it's a little less true. It's a memory of 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 a memory. And so our story of ourselves
Chinese
gets diluted.
telephone.
It's a Chinese telephone to yourself. Whoa. It's a story you're telling yourself. And yet that's all we are, is our fucking memory of ourselves. And so we feel we're this person. And I think No Means No is so beautiful and brilliant at this. Rob is so brilliant and beautiful at this, of kicking the chair out from under you and making you realize, no, man, that's all fucking bullshit. I mean, it's not. It's what we are. So that's not bullshit. But don't take it so fucking seriously. What you think you are is far more ephemeral, far more illusory than we feel at any particular moment. And then at the last verse, he gets very cosmic about it, right? I remember an endless space and the tolling bells of some holy place, as if he's remembering back to before he was born or after he's dead, that void from which we come or the void from which we go. And he asks, is it a dream that comes back to me or a memory that I can barely see? Right? This sense that it's so distant. What's really real, this void that we come from, is so distant that you can't even you don't even know if it's a dream or if it's fucking real. And that last line, what I see, what comes back to me is a place I cannot find. He talks about that. That reminds me of that line in the Ausfahrt, in the hidden song at the end. The future is the past. right? Which also was sort of about memory and time. But it's that idea that these things that we take as ourselves, these things that we take as our concrete reality of who we are completely invisible, illusory, and you cannot touch them. They're in a place that you actually cannot touch. They are all we are, and yet it's a puff of fucking smoke. REMEMBER. And I just love how it kicks into that verse in between each of these, into that chorus in between each of these verses. And it's so ecstatic and it's so fun. But this whole time, he's just smiling at you, kicking the chair out from under your goddamn identity. And then it breaks into the second half of the song, which is this beautiful, first of all, you get that Rob, gorgeous, I remember, which is so fucking great. And then this deconstruction of the song and memory, just like memory. This is one of those holographic songs.
Are you talking about the very end there?
The very end, like the musical interlude where you just hear like
the very end, like the last half of the song.
No, it's like the last half of the song, and
with
you
that
hear these
sludge.
R B. Like the REMBM is just kind of popping up, and the lyrics, there's like the voices creeping in from behind, and it's like it's creepy, but it's that. I think it's a very good comment on the fact that what we think we just heard, this is about how accurate we are to what actually just happened, right? He's demonstrating for us like this is what it's really fucking like, until at the very end you get that. And I'm gonna admit that I put this in Audacity, the editing program, and I tried to slow down or play backwards that very last part that goes super fast to be like, because I've always suspected that that's the entire song either gone backwards or shortened, and that they were just compressing it into like 5 seconds. But it's like so compressed that I couldn't pull it out.
Bullshit? Is that what you're trying to do here?
Yeah, my suspicion is that it's the entire song put into like 4 seconds at that little last. I think it's just it's the whole fucking song compressed, as if it's that moment where they say your life flashes before your eyes when you die, right? And you get to see your whole memory compressed. Jeez. But I really love how the end of the song, it's not just, it does kind of hint towards the experimentation of the tour EPs, where I think Rob really dives into this shit. So it gives us a view of that. It does feel like Rob messing around a little bit, but it's not just for the sake of messing around. It's commenting on the song. It's commenting on the message of the song, on the message of memory. And that's why I fucking love it. So I think this is a fucking banger. I think it's intelligent. I think it's, I don't know if gorgeous is the right word, but it's fun as fuck. And yeah, I love it. I love this song. All right, wicked. Michelle, what do you got for us?
Wicked. Oh, that was beautiful. Okay, this is a great toe tap and romp around the pit. Revisiting Mr. Right and Mr. Wrong is really such a treat, as there are amazing doozies on this CD that show the true essence of this rhythm section that is its own band. I usually wince when songs have words spelled out. I do. So it took me a bit to embrace that part of the song. I really love the angularity this song has, and once again how John utilizes that fantastic China cymbal. God knows he can't do a cymbal grab during any of that. Oh, actually, this is kind of stupid, but I wrote, I'm wondering how Jordan handles the same note verses. Like he's singing the same note during the verses.
Oh, I love it.
In this one, and if it triggers nightmares of Beat on the Brett, the ending.
No way.
No, I'm playing. The ending sludge that closes this song is cool as fuck, and the special effects thingy is out of this world.
The drums are backward masked at least, right? That like that's played backwards. That's so fucking backwards. Cool. That's why I thought maybe that if I played it backwards, it would be the whole song backwards.
I don't know.
It's definitely like those drum beats are
creepy.
Are recorded backwards. Anyway, Matthew,
cool.
What do you got for us?
Yeah.
I'd never really paid attention to this song. I got to admit, I reading through the lyrics, I'm kind of like, okay, these lyrics deserved a more complex song somehow. Because I like the song, but it's fast, it's simple, but it is poppy. It could be an Infamous Scientist song. It could be a Showbiz Giant song. Because in fact, it's more like those bands than it is like No Means No in a lot of ways.
Agreed.
Interesting. Good point.
Yeah, I love the playing though. I mean, it's got that rollicking feeling that so many Showbiz Giant songs have, even though Tom was not necessarily probably associated with it at all. But yeah, there's the lyrics are a lot deeper than I sort of realized, and I think, the nature of memory, sort of like composite and incomplete, inaccurate nature of memory. I really love that lyric. What I see, what comes back to me is a place I cannot find. You can never get back to that crystalline form. Everything is a reconstruction. Ultimately, and because of that, what we forget, we must repeat. So if you can't be sure that whatever it is you're remembering is accurate, then ultimately experience can't teach you. Which is kind of a scary thought. I don't know. And the thing about the lyric about, I remember an endless space in the tolling bells of some holy place. It almost seems like the idealization of memory, your exaltation or veneration of a particular memory. It's that accurate. And, by the same token, it made me realize that I tend to sort of harp on the negative, that the catastrophization of a memory, or like is that accurate? Probably not. So it's kind of uplifting in two different ways. That it's never going to be accurate. Maybe you're never going to know. So maybe you should just sort of deal with it. In terms of
said than done.
Of course. Yeah, the China cymbal, and I actually think he's playing on the bell of the ride in a lot of it. There's at least he's playing on the bell of the ride, where it follows the vocals, like it follows the stress pattern in the vocals, which is pretty kind of tricky. I feel like the REMEMBER is almost like it's like a mantra. It's like, you have to sort of hypnotize yourself into remembering. But by doing that, you actually keep yourself from remembering.
That's cool. I like that.
And then I saw the last half of the song, just like you, Jordan. The breakdown is like some patterns, like the nature of memory. It's like sort of partially melted, indistinct. There's like cheesy bits. There's some like weird electric drums, like 80s sounding in there, which straight off some like cheap Casio from the mid 80s.
No. One thing I'm going to tell you right now is when I did play it backwards, those are toms, but they're toms backwards, and that's why they sound cheesy and electronic. Like it's a backward masked drum recording, and that's why it sounds weird. But it sounds regular when you play it the other way. When you play it in reverse.
It makes me wonder, like maybe that cheesy 80s sound was like the other way around.
That's
Who knows? Because it sounds exactly like that. One of the main reasons that I dislike so much 80s music is because how shitty the synthesized drums sounded.
You're not listening to the right stuff then, buddy.
No, I said a lot of, not all of, a certain type.
Oh, all right, okay, all right.
Yeah.
There's a lot to not like.
I don't know, fucking Power Station or some bullshit.
Hey, anyway, John Taylor was a good bass player.
He was a good bass player, Robert Palmer was a fantastic vocalist. But I'm just saying, that kind of epitomizes 80s cheese for me.
All right.
Yeah, cheese. I love those like little bubbly bits of the song, like voices and static, and then at the end it sort of speeds up and is really kind of almost distressing. It's like those memories that speed up, and maybe it's those ones that you can't ignore at 3 a.m. Like I don't know if you guys are like that, but I'm certainly like that.
I was like, how did he know that I do that at that time?
We call it having sharks at night. That there's sharks circling the bed. It's the same thing.
Sharks in the gene pool.
Sharks in the gene pool.
Nice.
Right, that's what I got to say. Yeah.
Whoa.
Great.
And you know what? I gotta take a little trip to the garden. I'm afraid. I do.
Okay. No, do it.
All right, little garden. Unfortunately, normally this would be where Michelle and I talk together, but you know what? This little boy got a tinkle too. So see you guys later. We're gonna pause.
You are not gonna leave me here like this.
Yeah, we're gonna take a pause. And,
are you pausing it?
Well, I'm not pausing it, but I might cut it out unless you give me a good monologue. So do your best, and we'll decide whether we leave this in or not.
You know what? Okay. All right. Now that I have you all here, I thought about calling the phone number once and telling a story, and I haven't done it yet, so I'll just say it here. I forgot which year it was. I met up with another No Means No fan that was on the forum. His real name is Mike McLaughlin. Anyways, I was living in upstate New York, and he was down in the Philadelphia area, and No Means No was playing a show there. This is, by the way, one of my like, if I had to have a No Means No memory, this is it. This is one of them for sure. Anyways, I rented a car. I drove down to Philly. I'd never met him before. I met him. He was great. We went to his parents' house. We went out to get something to eat. We went to this venue, and he still remembers the name of it. I don't, but it was this, like, it used to be a house, clearly, but then it was, when we went in there, it was gutted out to be like some punk venue. I don't know. Anyways, I get there and I just kind of get my way onto the side of the stage, and nobody moves me. I was pretty much on the stage, but over to the side, and nobody told me to leave. I was hoping that they could figure out that I wasn't going to, jump on anybody or do anything stupid. So I watched the whole show, and it was, of course, amazing. I hadn't met any of the band yet, but I had the perfect place on the stage. After the show, I'm telling you, this means so much to me. After the show, I'm sitting there. Mike, my friend Mike, who went to the gig with me, is talking with a bunch of his friends that were there, and I'm just sitting there watching the band tear down the stage. Like, they just laid it the fuck down, and they're John's tearing down his drums, packing them up. Everybody's cleaning out their amps, rolling up the chords, putting the guitars back, and I was just like, oh God, why are they having to do this? Why don't they, should I help them, blah, blah, blah. And I just sat there and watched and wonder, holy shit, look at these guys cleaning up, laying it down, and then having to clear their own gear off the stage. And then the most epic thing, Jordan, you're going to love this, the most epic thing ever. Rob's on the floor now, not on the stage anymore, and he was just standing there doing something, either talking to somebody. He was standing there by himself, and this homeless guy walked up to Rob, obviously asked him for money. Rob pulls out his wallet, gives him a $5 bill.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm telling you, I got choked up.
That's awesome.
Because I watched humility from every fucking thing for that whole night. I watched humility. The guys laying it down.
And humanity.
Yeah. Taking the stage down with their own shit. Rob's standing there, sweating his balls off, I'm sure. And this guy comes in, asks him for money, and he gives him $5. And I got choked up. I got very choked up.
That just about says it all, man. That just about says it all.
In fact, I'm feeling a little choked up right now just thinking about it. That is one of my best. If I had to call up the phone, like you should, everyone, if I had to call up the phone and give a really good No Means No memory, that would be it. That's what I think about when I think of Rob, anyways.
Nice.
God.
You know what I think, Jordan? I think you and I should co-pee more often.
I think so too.
Oh, come on. Now, I was going to call the phone and say that, but it was like, it's kind of perfect that you had to do
I heard about the last third of that, so I can't wait to go back and hear the rest of it. You had your headphones on the whole time, so you heard it all. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it all, and I was like sort of lurking off camera so that Michelle wouldn't get distracted when I came back. So
no,
it was a
I
great
would have
story.
got distracted if I saw you pee. I would have been like, hey,
that's
a good
enough
stream.
of that. All right, let's
It's not penis, it's stream.
No, I know. Let's dive back into our stream and deal with this song. I'm going to be a mama's boy, and I'm going to play you a little bit of Mama's Little Boy.
For Mama, 1982.
There's a place. There's a place. There's a place where I want to be. And it's dark there. There's nothing to see. And you're alone. There's nothing you can do. Something's coming. Something's coming to you. And you don't know where you are.
a baby, it's a boy. All right, Mama, Little Boy. I actually played a pretty badass cover of this in my my little garage band I had with some friends, and in the middle of the song, we broke into this weird little techno riff for about a minute and a half before we went back into it. There's no vocals; it was only I was playing the bass in it, but that was fun as shit. Oh my God, I love this song so much. I love this song so much. I love this song so much. Fucking A. This song is drippy, gorgeous, beautiful goo all over my ears.
Oh, I'm
I
so
love
happy.
it. One of my favorites off of Mama. I think it is a stunning, shining example. And while I've had my thoughts about what this song meant before, and I'm carrying this into this today, there's also some shit that I think cracked open for me today. And I think I don't know that this is true, but for me anyway, it all slots into place even more so. So I'm going to talk about that first before I talk about the music. Michelle will talk about the music better than I could anyway, but I'll get to that because the music.
I've got a few things.
Because the music's fucking great.
Yep.
So this song really strikes me as a song kind of about the general idea of how way in our distant past, the early reaction to the mystery of the universe was one of sort of the worship of the energy of chaos and a very feminine energy.
Oh.
And in many of the ancient myths, be that the Greek myths or be that Mesopotamian, the original gods, the original source was always a god of chaos, and it was always feminine. So in Greece, the god, the original god from which everyone else sprung, and these were not the gods we knew in Greece. I don't know that a lot of you probably already know, but there were tiers of gods. There was these original gods, then there were the Titans, and then there was fucking Zeus. There were like, all
There's
these different
only one God, Jordan, and
pantheons.
it should
Yeah,
be
exactly.
Jesus Christ.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm doing the cross.
Neanderthal.
But anyway, so the original mother of chaos in the Greek world is actually sort of known as the chaos, the god without a following, without a religion. Like it was a god that never had a cult that they know of or anything like that. But anyways, so there's this sense of in many pantheons, and in Mesopotamia, like I talked about, there was the goddess Tiamat, who was the mother of chaos and the mother of all creation, who was then overthrown eventually through a series of shit by Marduk, who was this, masculine solar energy. So there's a sense of chaos, femininity, fecundity, being overthrown by solar deities, by this masculine energy, right? By this sort of shit. And there's a particular play that's often held up, and what cracked open for me today, and I knew about these things, but I hadn't connected it to this song. Nietzsche has and I know Rob's into Nietzsche, has an amazing work called The Birth of Tragedy. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, The Birth of Tragedy, which is where he explores these two gods in ancient Greece, a lot based on this play called the Bacchae by Euripides. But one god is Dionysus and the other god is Apollo. These were two sons of Zeus, but Dionysus was the god of chaos. Yeah, Dionysus was the god of chaos and wine and revelry and just madness, literal madness, but was also had a purely female cult around him.
Maenads?
All of his worshipers, the Maenads, exactly. All of the worshipers were female.
I know nothing.
And then you had Apollo, who was the god of the sun, a solar god, who overthrew Dionysus. And this play, the Bacchae, which is a beautiful, fucking crazy play, widely acknowledged as one of the best tragedies of the ancient world, fucking great, is about that. It's about the overthrow of Dionysus by Apollo, his brother, and Dionysus's revenge on that. And this, to me, it's almost like this song is... I feel like it's Dionysus. Dionysus is Mama's little boy. Is the son of chaos.
Why not Oedipus?
Is looking, well, yeah. But
That's the only god I probably know. Or no, that's
Oedipus is not a god. And so this Mama's little boy, this is a being who's looking to that mother of chaos and kind of disparaging all of this masculine energy that he sees around him, right? disparaging the gods of the sun, who are just her bastard sons, who are just dancing around the fire, being drunk. Just all that sort of a feeling that you get from this song of how that masculine fucking energy. It's almost like I just picture all of the fucking gods he's talking about just sitting around a campfire, drinking beer, barfing around, and just being fucking assholes.
Oh.
But there's something interesting about a tenderness almost with which he's talking about his relationship with the mother. And even though it's the goddess of chaos, there's this stuff about you know, when she says to him, son, don't hide everything inside, because someday it will turn and eat you alive. That's really fucking good, deep advice. And it's the kind of advice that comes from that feminine aspect, as opposed to the masculine aspect, which teaches you to shove that shit down and pretend it doesn't exist.
Right.
Right? It's like, no, see your feelings, bring them up, or they will destroy you. It's like that line that Gnostic line I talked about in Slade, where he says, or where I feel like it refers to the idea that which you don't bring forth will destroy you, right? And it's that line. And then there's at the very end of the song, when he keeps stating, I feel, I can feel, just sticking his stake in the sand, as saying, kind of shouting how important that is to feel, which is not the masculine position. So this is not like a song about the sort of chaos and how chaos is wild and it's just fucking nuts. And I'm mama's little incestuous boy, which there is that little incest kick in the middle of it. You know, come the night, she picks the tallest one. It has a little bit of an incestual feel to it. But that's also very much in the pantheon. Like gods were fucking their own kids all the time way back in the day. It's just how it was. And
well,
something
there weren't very many
interesting to me. Yeah, exactly. There wasn't a lot
things
to choose
fuck.
from.
Yeah.
So you know how I love to focus in on individual word choices and how much they can mean.
Yeah, you do.
Something that I've always caught in this song is at the very end when he's saying, "There's a place I want to be, and it's dark there. There's nothing to see, and you're alone. There's nothing you can do. Something's coming. Something's coming to you." Now, normally I would hear that. I would think the word you'd put in is "something's coming for you," is what feels more like threatening. Something's coming for you, but he doesn't say that. He says something's coming to you, which is what you would say when you're going to have something, a revelation, when you're going to have some understanding. Oh, that just came to me. I just understood it. So that just came to me. So you're going to be alone. You're going to be in this darkness. There's nothing there. There's nothing you can do. And something's going to come to you. That's when you'll have your realization. That's when something real can occur. And I really think this is a song about the birth of tragedy. I think this is a song about Dionysus and Apollo. I think this is a song about that primordial feminine chaos, how we've lost that, how the gods of the sun took over. But I'm mama's little boy. I want to be closer to that sense of feeling. I want to be closer to that sense of the feminine understanding of the universe, not those fucking drunk solar gods who just want to party and repress their feelings. Fuck them. I love that. And I love musically. First of all, the bass line in this is so fucking buttery and just, woo, it makes
buttery.
my nipples hard.
But that's
I
a
love
good.
it.
That's buttery nipples.
Buttery. And I love John's just his fucking the cymbal ride in this and the what is that instrument that
I was gonna don't steal my don't
what is that thing called?
Thunder.
Okay, I won't.
Okay, we all brought it up
you.
clearly.
I'll leave
you
it.
want to know what
I'll
it
leave
is?
it. No. I'll leave it for. Nope, I don't.
No,
I don't. I'll
about
leave that for you.
Yeah.
But I love that, and I
just mentioned it. I'm going to talk about it. I'll just. Tell
I
you
love
what it is.
in that verse I was talking about at the end, whereas there's a place. I love how everything gets quieter and the cymbals get that fucking reverb on them, and everything just closes in until you're just right fucking there with this dark Dionysus who's just looking at you with this passion, this madness. But to me, this is a beautiful madness. This is the kind of madness I want to feel. This is not the kind of madness that I'd run away from. I want to be mama's little fucking. It is, and it's an intimate madness. Like I I want to fucking be Mama's little boy. Like this,
Right.
I identify with the feeling that this character has.
Right.
I fucking love it. I
Yeah.
fucking love it. I think this song, again, one of those songs on Mama that shows you everything they could be, right? Everything they could be. This is not
Completely.
This is not a
Everything
40
about
years
this
old.
band is in this
It's
song
in
right here.
And it's
Yep.
not a fucking punk
Yep.
song. This is
No.
not a punk. This is a jazz fucking
Yes.
song. You could
No.
have some guys playing this in a jazz club and people would fucking love this shit.
While you smoke cigarettes.
While you smoke cigarettes or hash
man.
or whatever you're going to smoke.
Yeah.
I just love it.
I love that you love this.
And I think that Rob's love of looking at the origins of our worship and the bastardization of that worship. And I really think Nietzsche is in there. I think that, to me, looking at that today and remembering that book, going, fuck yes, that is this. That dichotomy is right fucking here.
It's societal
And
too. Society.
it is.
Mama's
No, of
little
course
boys.
it is. Of
Yep.
course it is.
Yes.
So anyway, I'll try to leave some meat on the bone here,
I
but
don't
just
know.
to say, I fucking love it. Michelle, go ahead, take over.
I love that you love it because I love it too. Oh, here's another one of No Means No's Sneaking Up the Stairs songs.
Yes.
Yes, that's coming to get you. Just dig the snazzy jazz in this with a haunting Mama's little boy.
Oh
Wait,
yes.
Mama's little boy. Echoing on in the back. I wrote a pair of googly eyes there, and I wrote creepy and cool. John
Nice.
is front and center on this one, and it's delicious to listen to him lay down the fills and construct the skeleton of this song. Rob's bass line is once again repeating itself, but if you're like me, you never tire of it and look for the fine characteristics he adds to it for some variety. Okay, Jordan. The vibra slap.
Vibra slap.
slap.
Vibra slap.
Nice.
The vibra slap percussion instrument used in this is especially fitting, giving it a
So good.
noir kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And super
kinda
cheesy at the same time. It's like cool and
totally.
cheesy. Super cheesy.
And it sounds like a snake. It kind of reminds me of the song kind of reminds me of the Dead Kennedys, The Prey. Both nice, dark, haunting songs that wonderfully paint a picture of doom and gloom. Now today, I looked at the lyrics. I have a tape. For the first time ever, I looked at the lyrics that came in my tape. And I can see how the lyrics are all right on par with their essential and their essence. And I even see that John was the one who did the mama's voice.
Yeah.
Because when they list his instruments, one of the instruments was mama's. So he was,
Nice.
he was the one that was
I don't think I had any doubt that was John. His little brother.
starting stuff.
I always wanted to see them play this live, and I never got to see them play it, but I would have killed to see this.
Oh, mama's little boy.
Well, thanks for that, man.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
You're good?
Long
All right.
live the vibra slap.
Matthew, how about you?
I was trying to write out what the vibra slap sounded like. We all brought it up.
It sounds like a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rather.
Yeah. We have one at work. I should have stole it.
Should have stole it and brought
If
it
I
in.
wasn't laid up, I would have gone.
I was
Had it
never.
when I did the cover of this. When I did the cover of this, my friend had a vibra slap, and we used
No way.
Oh yeah.
You can get one.
Nice.
They're pretty cheap. All right. Sorry,
done.
Matthew. Yep.
When I was in elementary school, that was the only music classes I ever took. My mom forced me to take piano lessons, and I had a horrible teacher when I was 5 or 6. Real kind of
Aw.
criminal. I wish it turned me off of wanting to have anything to do with playing music myself, but I did like to go into the music room when I was in elementary school, and everyone would fight over the fucking vibra slap.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah,
You were
There's
king
some fun
shit if you had the
stuff in
vibra
there.
slap.
Yep.
yeah. King shit on the vibra slap.
There's some fun
Because
stuff.
yeah,
in
it doesn't
there.
take a lot of no, totally like that thing that looks like a fish though. That's never super.
Oh yeah, with the stick, you put the stick over the top. And
Oh right.
Yep. I like that round thing with all the chains on it.
Oh yeah.
pretty good, too.
I don't know what that's called.
I forget. It starts with a C though.
Costanza.
Something like that.
Cacophony?
Yeah, it's like a
I'll look it
stanza.
up.
Yeah, another one of those. Yeah, creeping up the stairs songs. That's really sort of accurate. It's really,
Yes.
really sort of oily album. I love this album. This song is 40 years
Oh.
old. That fucking freaks me out.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, timeless, absolutely timeless. I like the
Yes.
discussion that some folks on the Facebook page had about the Rorschach blot. And the thing about Rorschach blots is nobody's
Oh,
right,
yes.
nobody's wrong. That I always saw a devil face, red devil, and a lot of people see the baby in the middle, and it's
I
once
see
you
a
look at
baby
it,
on a
it's like,
cross.
Yeah,
I see a
it's-
baby on a cross. Yeah.
it's unmistakable once you start seeing it. But I didn't unsee the devil. I just see more detail,
Yeah.
and that's what I really like. And it's sort of like a metaphor for about this podcast is I don't really lose any of the stuff that I thought about before. It just gets
Right.
more elaborate, more
Hopefully.
Yep.
yes.
Exactly.
Nobody's right, nobody's wrong, except for people who like Beat on the Brat.
Exactly.
Right. So, yeah, I had no doubt that it was John, Mama's little boy. Song about how you want to remain Mama's little boy. Yeah, I totally agree with all the mythical stuff that Jordan was talking about. I hadn't considered Dionysus and Apollo, but for sure, Reason and Chaos, or sort of, pulling up your socks, or it is maybe a little bit about taking things more seriously, or maybe becoming less imaginative as you get older. You sort of have to pull up your socks, and you're not a kid anymore. You don't get to have as much fun, but at the same time, it's also, yeah, you kind of become serious. You lose a whole perspective of openness, and I totally agree that maybe that's part of what they're after. The feminine, the more sensitive. I like the invocation of the sun gods. Ra, Horus, Thor, Zeus, sun and thunder, and all these very, very masculine. The thunderbolt, the hammer. The sun. All these sort of masculine kinds of things. It brought up. I don't like to sort of bring up a lot of pop culture stuff, but I've been watching a series called Raised by Wolves. A science fiction
That's great.
series.
I mean, good pop culture stuff.
Fan-fucking-tastic. It's so unrelated to any other sci-fi trope that I've really seen, but one of the main things in it is like it's basically sort of the atheists against the zealots, and the zealots are super into a sun god, and they have a real problem. Yeah. Anyway,
It's fucking great.
I agree. I hadn't really thought about the the Bake, I'm mad, I'm Mama's little boy. The Maenads that you talked about were the worshippers of Dionysus, and they were female, and they would get fucked up, and they would tear
people apart.
themselves and other people to
themselves.
shreds. Yeah,
I know nothing.
absolute chaos. But it's kind of interesting, son, don't hide everything inside, because someday it will turn and eat you alive. Maybe sort of learning to deal with that rather than suppressing it, so that it doesn't come out, and you don't have the tools to fight it. Sort of what I didn't have kids myself, but I have friends with kids, and occasionally they are a little more protective than, I'm not a parent, so I don't know how it feels, but the way I always sort of say or think, the way that I was raised is my mom she had to go to work, and I had to raise myself to a certain extent. And in a lot of ways,
I think that was a
permissiveness,
generational thing. Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, in terms of permissiveness, like you can't continue to shield your children. All you can do is arm your children.
Oh, nice.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That's true.
And maybe sort of like being able to stare that stuff in the face, and not trying to protect them all the time. You don't. They develop their own tools, they develop their own weapons, they develop their own coping mechanisms, and maybe it gives them some sort of pathology, but it also makes them more flexible,
malleable,
I guess. And so the reed and the oak sort of thinking. And I think a lot of these sort of masculine symbols are very rigid.
Yes.
Hands off, Snaky.
Oh, with a penis already.
Well, that's what I was. Okay.
Well, hands off the snaky. Isn't that what you meant?
Well, so is
It
rigid. It
is.
was just went right in. It's
Oh.
anyway.
Yeah.
Dick jokes.
Yeah. No. Well,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, all right.
There's a place that I want to be. It's dark there. There's nothing to see. There's alone. There's nothing you can do. That's the egg. It's all alone with Mummy. Something's coming. Something's coming to you, and that is the sperm. That's the spark.
Oh, don't you sex
No.
this up,
It's not about
not sex.
sex. It's about creation, right? It's about sort of this happy little egg sitting there with a mummy in the dark place, and then the sperm is introduced, and that starts off this whole thing. Suddenly, you don't know where you are. You don't know who you are. You're helpless, and then you're out in the world, and you have to deal with all this, and you don't have that protection anymore. You don't have those tools anymore. You have to be out in the world, and you have to be exposed to all this sort of stuff. I don't want to get into the sort of incestuous aspects of this song, but
Never.
I
I think
don't
that's
know.
more mythic than anything else. I don't know.
Probably
I feel like there's
more
just
mythic.
something. Yeah. But anyway,
maybe I relate to it a little bit. Like,
we were both
I
mama's boys,
was-
right? I don't know. I was raised by a single mother. Yep.
I was raised by a single mom. My dad was on the scene. It's not like they had a bad relationship or anything, but he was off and
Right.
married to my
Right.
stepmom, and they had she had kids already and everything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a certain independence that I developed because of that. You know, certainly apron strings
Which is not a bad
on
thing.
one hand, but I don't think I was protected by my mom so much as I was supported by my mom. And,
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly right.
Yep.
Exactly.
and maybe that's what this song is about a little bit. Anyway, the other music part, I love the tom fills, I love the groove. I love this actually kind of like very quite simple walking bass, which is very effective in this song. And the distorted ride cymbal, which I think is distorted with a ring modulator. I'm sure someone will correct me on that. But that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
Ring modulator.
And I love the fact that the last word in the song is joy.
Oh, I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
because
so good.
I can feel
say
joy.
something. But he didn't say it. It was like so subdued. It wasn't like a resurrecting
I can feel
part of the song.
joy.
And the music is, and he just said, but
he's coming down. It's just a focal, right?
It's
so
accepting.
you didn't think
it's
it was
part of him.
You didn't think it was sad. You didn't think
No.
it was like, oh,
no, I don't think so at all.
Satisfaction.
I just felt,
It's not. No. It's not exuberant. It's just like I am capable
I
of
felt
feeling
bad for
joy.
him. But he just said it so deadpan.
It sounds more grounded to me than dead.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't
no,
know.
Totally.
I'm glad to hear that because I was kind of feeling like he couldn't. He couldn't feel what he was saying, even though he was saying a word that was a positive thing.
Opposite. I think that he
All
feels
right.
it so deeply that it's such a part of him. It doesn't even have to be something that he strives to feel. He's just
Yeah.
I'm capable of this.
I guess
worthy
when
of
I
this.
hear that word, I always think somebody says it like joy. They always say it like emphatically, and he just kind of says it kind of like I feel joy.
I think there's something in there too, and that the end for me always is that the ecstatic part is the very fact of being able to feel. I feel. I feel. That's what he keeps repeating.
Yep.
I can feel. I can feel. I'm capable of feeling. I have it. And then joy is the realization of what's there, right? Like of that, the manifestation of it. But it's just fucking gorgeous.
It's fucking awesome
Gorgeous.
song, man.
Yeah. Very deep. All right. Well, let's cast some votes. So I'm going to go first. And in the vote between Remember, which I really, really love, and Mama's Little Boy, it's going to be Mama's Little Boy for sure. I think it's one of their all-time greats for
Thank
sure.
you for your vote.
There's some great songs on that album, man. I mean,
Oh,
Red Devil,
man.
Mama's Little Boy. There's just some fucking
Rich Guns.
God damn.
We haven't come to that one yet.
Red
Which we have not done yet. Nope.
Devil.
All right, so Mama's Little Boy for me. Michelle, what do you got? Or actually, no, wait. Let's let. Oh yeah, where we got it.
That's my vote. I just voted. Sorry.
Nice. We're probably gonna be unanimous here. I'm not sure, but
I think so.
Matthew, what
No,
do you got?
absolutely, Mama's Little Boy.
Yeah,
That's
figured,
me.
I figured.
Yeah.
Nice.
You are.
We're
Mama's little boy.
all Mama's
both you
little
are.
gender binaries. We're all there.
Yep.
Congratulations to Mama's little boy. Congratulations to Manic Depression.
Oh, both mine went through. Thank you.
But before we end the podcast, even though last week we were a little dry with no corrections, this week Andy's corrections are making their triumphant return with two bangers.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Matthew,
Mr. Kerr,
would
for
you-
your submissions.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mr. Kowalik, would you please do us the honors?
indeed. Happy Bridge. Rob came up with this bass line, introduced it to John and me. I don't know if it was ever intended to be a song. It was just a fun riff to play. We quickly found that we were adding it live as a bridge between songs in our set. You could put it before or after anything, and it seemed to work. Eventually, while working on material that would become 0 + 2 = 1, it became part of our efforts to create an extended medley of various songs. You can hear that put into practice
Part
on
of
0
our
+ 2 =
efforts.
1.5, where it is sandwiched between Victim's Choice and Ghosts. For whatever reason, Happy Bridge didn't make it into the 0 + 2 medley, emerging a couple years later on the Why Do They Call Me Mr. Happy album. Okay.
Nice.
And now Ghosts, which last week's episode, and I felt feels on that one.
Right.
Yep.
The song that many of our pals rolled their eyes to when it came out. I can understand why. It's long, a bit self-indulgent, a bit. That's his emphasis. And there's a lot of screaming vocals and whining guitars. Still, it's one of my personal favorites on 0 + 2 = 1. I may be wrong, but I think Robbie wrote the main 3/4 riff that he sings over, and I believe John wrote the other riff. We are trying for once to be a little less uptight in our song arrangements with this one. Earlier, we had done something similar at the end of What Slade Says. For my part, I'd been mesmerized by the guitar playing of Terry from the X, and was keen to try that approach in my own playing style. Ghosts gave me the room to try that out, and I was really happy with the results.
Nice.
Thanks again, Andy.
Gosh, thanks, Andy. God, I love you.
Fantastic.
Icing
It's so
on the
good.
cake. Icing on the cake.
So you've made it through another episode. We've sent 2 songs straight to heaven, 2 songs straight down to hell. We can't wait
With
to
the Red
see
Devil.
you again. Hopefully exactly with the Red Devil partying. It's pretty happy down there actually.
And
Just
Dionysus.
you don't take the Rainbow Bridge. You don't take the Rainbow Bridge. You take the Happy Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So we hope to be back in a couple of weeks. We were maybe afraid we'd have to take a little bit of a break. We still may because we're recording these so close, but we hope not. So we hope to see you soon. But Jesus Christ, y'all, thank you for being with us.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Spread the word a little bit if you can. If you've got other people you know that like No Means No, if you've got people on your socials that you think might like No Means No and don't know about the podcast, podcasts grow most by word of mouth. So we'd love it if you'd spread it around a little bit. Tweet about it, Instagram about it, Facebook about it. I don't know, whatever the fuck you do. Send out carrier pigeons with little notes around their ankles, whatever the fuck you do. But we've got a great listener base. It doesn't need to grow, but we'd love it to. We'd love other people who love this band to know about it. That's
I
really
don't know.
Yeah.
I want to keep it with us because it's private and cool. And if you didn't earn
That's
it,
true.
you're not getting
If you're one of the cool
You know what I'm
kids, you're
saying?
already listening.
Exactly.
You're one of them. So
Exactly.
anyway, No Means No Thing is produced and edited by yours truly, Jordan Flato. Co-hosting and podcast graphics are by the excellent Matthew Kowalik.
Yeah.
Michelle Strangest is our third and everyone's favorite co-host and our
Thank
official
you.
Foley artist. Thank you to No Means No for the use of stock taking as our intro and outro music. And you know what? I like the graveyard shift. It's quiet. We can read all night. Go. I'm about to roll the dice.
Can I ask you
Do it.
something before you roll the dice? Did you ask the band if you could use stock taking?
I asked Andy. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I don't remember anybody asking. I think it's
Oh, no,
cool
I
that you
did.
say that. No, that's cool.
Oh, I did right off the bat. And so just like when I had my earlier
Ow.
podcast with my son way back in
Right.
the day, and we used now, I asked Andy for permission.
Oh, good. That counts.
So yep, we asked.
I just think it's cool that you asked permission from the band and you got it.
Oh, of course, I didn't want to presume.
There you go.
All right. So roll the dice. Number 1. All right. Fuck yes. Oh my God. What a great pairing. Holy shit. This is going to be fun.
Wait, type it out.
I ain't even
see
mad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Kaiju
Okay.
battle.
Oh, no.
Oh, and this is a fun one too. All right.
Oh, that's
Ready?
not cool.
I know. It's not going to be easy. None of these are easy.
No.
Okay, here's the other one. These are a little less known, but still fucking fun as hell. There we go.
Oh,
Hell yeah. That's going to be a fun episode. I am looking
I
forward
wonder-
to it.
I wonder if I want to know what hasn't been done yet. I kind of don't, because I want to have some zingers in there that I'm like, hey.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know. I've got it all on lockdown.
Well, all right, keep it that way. I can delay gratification. That's my jam.
All right. Well, we did it. We have the songs picked for next time. We might have to try to record sooner rather than later, but I'll talk to you idiots afterward. But to the rest of you,
Not a problem.
fuck off.